All right, my fam. This one is for you, my fit family. Today's session was very intentional. No ego lifting, no chasing numbers, just to say we did it. This is about fixing leaks. Right now, my main focus is acceleration, explosiveness, and upper back strength under the load, especially staying locked in when the weight gets heavy. That's where I personally need improvement. It's nerdy, it's technical, it's very common, and it's not flashy at all. But fixing this makes everything better. This may or may not be your limiter, but the principle stays the same. Find where you leak power, then train for it on purpose. I'm in a phase where I've intentionally pulled back from max loads and leaned harder into speed work, technique refinement, and neuromuscular efficiency. I'm still working off percentages from my latest PRs, and even after taking time off due to a sprained thumb, from moving furniture if you care to know, I'm still lifting 5-10 pounds more than where I left off. That's your reminder. Progress doesn't stop when life happens. We adapt. Sometimes we slow down, but we never stop. Before I play with the weights, I wake up the neuromuscular system. We start where the power lives. The glutes. The glutes. Oh, yeah. The glutes are the engine. They keep us upright, powerful, and mechanically sound under the load. If your glutes aren't firing, something else will compensate. And that's where form breaks down. First movement, half kneeling hip flexor stretch with overhead reach and thoracic rotation. This isn't aggressive stretching. This is restorative lengthening. Here's what this does and why it wakes up the glutes. Tight hip flexors pull the pelvis forward into anterior tilt. That position inhibits glute activation neurologically, meaning your glutes can't fire properly. So by opening the hip flexors in this half kneeling position, I'm removing what's turning my glutes off. At the same time, the glute on the down knee side is working isometrically to stabilize the pelvis. The core keeps the rib stacked over the hips. The thoracic rotation restores upper back mobility. That combo improves pelvic alignment, restores hip extension, cleans up squat depth and bar path, sets the glutes up to actually produce force. Once I'm all warmed up and feel that every movement feels on point, I move on to glute activation, prone glute squeezes. This is pure activation, no spinal movement. I'm teaching my glutes to contract without letting the lower back take over. If you can't fire your glutes without arching your spine, you don't own that pattern yet. And heavy lifting will expose it. So once my body feels locked in, I move on to the open bar. Who's with me? Let's go to the open bar. I started with the empty bar. I normally do 2 sets of 5 reps, but today I only did one longer set of 12 reps, adding pauses in the bottom to work on ankle dorsiflexion because limited ankle mobility steals power, shifts load forward, and forces compensations up the chain. So address it early. My first work set was at 66%, 3x3. All 3 sets are my work set. And then my next set of work set is at 60%, 4x5. Rest time is 90 seconds. This is different percentages, same goal. Bar speed and clean extension out the hole. This improves concentric acceleration, posterior chain sequencing, transfer to snatches, and power cleans. Leg drive, hip extend, lats and upper back stabilized. Now for my explosive accessories, seated box jumps, 3x7. Full transparency here, I did these completely wrong. The box was too high, which turned this into a jump and land instead of a clean hip extension drill, which was what the focus should have been on. So this is a perfect example. It's focusing on the things that we need to get better at. In my case, was to work on a clean hip extension. Instead, I squatted mid-air. And yes, I can box jump, but that's not what the focus was supposed to be. Again, I want to emphasize, figure out what you need to improve, where you leak power, and work on it. Be intentional about that. It's about where you're at, your goals, and what your focus is, and run with it. So this movement is all about hip extension, straight leg in the air, not squatting mid-air, and light control landing, okay? If you're doing box jumps for cardio, that's cool. As long as you land properly, good job. Stay moving, break a sweat, and continue to work on your goals. If you're training for power, extension comes first. Accessories aren't about load or speed. They're about intent and motor control. So let's move to the Bulgarian split squats, where I did 3 sets, 8 reps on each leg. If Olympic lifting is your goal, these are gold. They're not supposed to feel smooth. I'm telling you, they burn. Your body adapts by you showing up. So get it. Show up for yourself. Okay? It's time. It is time. Posterior chain reinforcement in action in the GHD machine. But first, let's take it off. Take it off. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. Oh. Well, reality is that my goodies are going to be facing the mirror. And, you got to be aware of your surroundings, men and women. You must be aware of your surroundings, and females. Guys too. You can't be going around showing your goodies. So let's cover up a bit for this one. GHD hip extensions plus rows. This keeps the glutes active while strengthening the spinal erectors, upper back, and lats. So I'm able to stay upright instead of collapsing at the bottom of a squat. You can use dumbbells, kettlebells, or a barbell, whatever you want. Just remember, control matters more than load, okay? Onto the hip thrust, onto the hip thrust, onto the hip thrust, onto the hip thrust, where I did 3 by 12, moderate load. It doesn't have to be too heavy, but challenge yourself. This reinforces glute strength, pelvic control, lockout power. Make sure your feet are balanced. Every rep is controlled and you're not rushing. Do not rush, okay? Take your time. Take your time. Feel the movement. Core and anti-rotation. One of my favorite movements here because they are challenging, at least for me. Palloff press, 3 by 12. This trains the core to resist movement, not create it. A strong core doesn't flex, it stabilizes. Ooh! This carries directly into squats, deadlifts, and overhead lifts. You might want to consider this one. On to the hanging leg races with variation. The main focus in all of these movements is control, minimal movement, minimal momentum, and proper sequencing. Then we finish with floor core work, ab wheel roll out, roll out, roll out, ab wheel roll out, roll out, roll out, ab wheel roll out, roll out. I did 3 by 10, 10 to 15. The main thing here is to keep your spine neutral, no arching or rounding. Hips don't pull back when you roll back. You can feel free to grip the floor with your toes for stability or just point your toes back. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're stable enough. Only roll out as far as you can control. Okay? And final reminder, slowing down doesn't mean you're falling behind. Training smart is still training hard. Find your limiter. Choose accessories with purpose. And remember, your body is always learning. Your body is always adapting. That's it for today, my strong fam. Train with intention. Move with respect. From the gym to the streets, turn heads wherever you go. Okay? I'll see you on the next one. Bye.